Let's jump right in. Welcome to this explainer. I want you to close your eyes for just a sec. Imagine you're floating through space. You're totally surrounded by stars. We're talking brilliantly glowing planets, colorful nebulas, and whole massive galaxies just kind of spinning slowly in the distance. It's bright and it's incredibly beautiful. But then, right in front of you, you notice something really weird. Right in the middle of all that starlight, there's a patch of space darker than anything you have ever seen. You can't see it, you definitely can't reach out and touch it, yet you can just tell something ridiculously powerful is hiding right there in the dark.
This invisible boundary, it's pulling everything toward itself. Gas, dust, nearby stars, and even light itself are just spiraling straight into the dark. And absolutely nothing that crosses its path can ever escape. It's literally the ultimate one-way ticket. So what exactly is this darkest mystery in the universe? What is this giant cosmic trap hiding in the shadows of space? Well, today, we're going to unpack the science behind one of the most terrifying yet absolutely fascinating objects in our entire universe.
Section 1. What is a black hole?
Okay, so despite the name, a black hole isn't actually an empty hole at all. It's the exact opposite. It's this incredibly dense object with an enormous amount of mass packed into an unbelievably tiny space. Seriously, imagine taking the entire mass of the Earth, mountains, oceans, the whole shebang, and squishing it down to the size of a peanut. Because it's packed so incredibly tightly, its gravity is cranked up to the absolute extreme.
And because all of that mass is packed so tightly, the gravitational pull becomes so impossibly powerful that absolutely nothing can escape once it gets too close. Gas, dust, giant stars, and yeah, even light itself get pulled right in. Because no light can bounce off of it or escape its grip, it appears completely, totally black to our eyes, which makes sense. That's exactly where they get their name. But how does something like this even come into existence?
Section 2. How are they born?
Most black holes actually start out as massive stars. For millions of years, a star is basically doing this giant balancing act. Deep inside, nuclear fusion creates these massive outward explosions. But at the exact same time, the star's immense gravity is trying to crush it all inward. It's this epic cosmic tug of war. Eventually, though, the star runs out of fuel. Without those outward explosions to push back, gravity wins, and the star just collapses under its own enormous weight. Now, if the star is massive enough, this collapse triggers one of the most spectacular events in the universe, a supernova explosion. Just think about the sheer scale of this for a moment. A supernova can briefly outshine an entire galaxy of billions of stars. After that moment of pure cosmic violence, the remaining core just keeps collapsing and collapsing until it becomes the ultimate darkness, a newly born black hole.
Section 3. The point of no return.
Every black hole has this invisible boundary around it called the event horizon. Think of the event horizon as the ultimate cosmic threshold, like a line in the sand. If you're outside the event horizon, you still have a chance. Escape is technically still possible if you're fast enough. But the second any object, whether that's a spaceship, an asteroid, or just a beam of light, crosses that boundary, escape becomes scientifically impossible. You can never, ever travel back out.
To really wrap our heads around how crazy that is, let's think about the speed of light. Light travels at nearly 300,000 kilometers every single second. It is the absolute speed limit of our universe. Nothing is faster. Yet the gravity inside the event horizon is so unbelievably strong that even something moving 300,000 kilometers per second is stopped dead in its tracks and pulled inward. It is just mind-blowing.
Now, this creates a pretty huge problem for scientists. I mean, if not even light can escape, how do we study them? We can't actually point a camera and photograph a black hole. Instead, astronomers have to look at how they mess with the matter around them. Back in 2019, scientists actually captured the first ever image related to a black hole. What they did was photograph the glowing ring of superheated gas swirling around the event horizon. That dark, empty center right in the middle, that is the shadow of the black hole itself.
Section 4. Fact versus sci-fi fiction. Sci-fi movies and comic books love to portray black holes as these giant, evil, cosmic vacuum cleaners roaming around the galaxy, sucking up everything in sight. But the actual scientific reality? It's very different. A black hole actually follows the exact same laws of gravity as any other object in space. They don't just randomly pull in everything from across the universe.
Let's try a quick, totally fascinating thought experiment. Imagine if our sun was suddenly replaced by a black hole of the exact same mass. What would happen to Earth? Would we instantly get sucked in? No way. Earth would actually keep orbiting almost exactly as it does today.
Because the mass is the same, the gravitational pull from a distance is exactly the same. Now sure, Earth would get very, very cold and incredibly dark without sunlight, but objects really have to get extremely close to a black hole before its gravity becomes a trap.
Section 5. What if you fall in? All right, let's explore one of the funniest yet most scientifically morbid terms ever. Imagine you're falling feet first toward a black hole. As you get closer, the gravity gets stronger incredibly fast. So fast, in fact, that the gravity pulling on your feet would be dramatically stronger than the gravity pulling on your head. This intense difference would stretch your body longer and longer. Scientists officially call this effect spaghettification. Why? Because you would literally be stretched out into a super long strand of human spaghetti.
Now let's just pretend you somehow survive being turned into a space noodle and actually cross the event horizon. What happens next? Well, nobody knows. Seriously, it's one of science's biggest unsolved mysteries. Some theories suggest you'd fall all the way down to what's called the singularity. A singularity is a tiny, incredibly compressed point where matter's squeezed so tightly that the normal rules of the universe just completely break down. Space and time as we know them, they just stop making sense.
Section 6. Supermassive black holes.
So, not all black holes are the same size. Some are only a few times heavier than our sun, but others, they are absolute monsters, packing millions or even billions of times the sun's mass. Scientists now believe that nearly every single large galaxy has a supermassive black hole anchoring its center. And our home galaxy, the Milky Way, is absolutely no exception. Sitting right at the very center of our galaxy is a supermassive giant named Sagittarius A star.
Now, before you start panicking about Sagittarius A star swallowing up the Earth, let me stop you right there. Consider this. It is 26,000 light-years away from us. So yeah, it is vastly massive, but it is safely tucked away in the galactic center, posing absolutely zero danger to our planet. We get to study it from a very safe, very comfortable distance.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to remember this. Black holes are some of the most extraordinary objects in the entire universe. They aren't evil cosmic monsters wandering through space trying to eat planets. They are just entirely natural wonders born from dying stars. Their extreme gravity actually helps scientists unlock the deepest secrets of space, time, and how galaxies evolve over billions of years. Researchers are out there studying them every single day to answer the biggest questions in physics. So, the next time you look up at the night sky, look past those twinkling stars and remember the invisible giants quietly shaping the dark. Keep your mind open and never stop asking questions. Because what other invisible giants are out there just waiting to be discovered? Thanks so much for joining me, and stay curious.